Generation X. In general terms, those born between 1965 and 1980. Latchkey kids. Independent. Existentialism. Modern philosophy focusing on personal experience, human ability, and responsibility in an otherwise meaningless universe. We're the cause. This is the effect. We're the Gen X-istentialists. Welcome into the Gen X-istentialists podcast. My name is Scott.
And I'm Bunny.
And this is the show where we expound extemporaneously on any number of different topics, generally generated by Mega Wheel the Magnificent. Bunny, how you doing today?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm doing okay. My throat's a little bit sore, so I may be a little bit rough around the edges today, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see.
It's the bird flu.
I've had sinus drippage, and we live in the Ohio River Valley, so sinus problems kind of come with the territory. But a couple years ago, I had COVID, and I've never really gotten my head right. Take that as you will, mentally, whatever. But like my sinuses,
blaming it on COVID now. Huh?
Well, I think my long COVID is what they call it. Yeah. Is that my sinuses have never shut off. It's like I'm a leaky faucet in my head.
Just lovely pictures you're painting for the audience.
Yeah, I know. Just I have sneezed more, blown my nose more, and coughed more in the last 3 years than in my entire existence prior to that.
We'll see now if you're an ear, nose, and throat enthusiast. You got something to think about tonight.
If any of our fans and listeners out there are ENTs in their real life, not ETs, but ENTs, or Ents, Lord of the Rings references here. I'm Treebeard, and I think, no, we don't need that. But if you're an ENT and this sounds like something you know something about, contact us. I may need to talk to you. But until that time, and we could make that a whole episode, we could have an ENT guest with us.
There you go. Give me free diagnosis.
There you go.
Palpate this region, if you will.
We will give you exposure on our show.
Yeah, that's the way it works, right?
That's the way it works if you're in a band. Well, you come play for exposure.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Add it to your resume.
Okay, so we will give Mega Wheel the Magnificent a spin here to come up with our first topic of the show. You are always welcome to send us topics and let us know things that you would like us to talk about. Oh, this could be a short one or could be a long one. What does freedom really mean?
I think freedom means having the time to do what you want to do. I associate freedom with time. Being a master of your own time. As much as you can be.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that, because most people would associate freedom with choice, with being able to make their own decisions, and so much of that does depend on time, the availability of the time to do it, and also the availability of the funds and the means to do what you want to do.
Doesn't cost nothing to take a nap.
This is true. So yeah, I think freedom, the one thing I will say, not to get even remotely political with it, but it's a politically charged question, is that...
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, freedom, doesn't everybody want freedom of something? Freedom of choice, freedom of time, freedom of...
Yeah. Can you have freedom, truly, if you deny freedoms to other people? I'm just baiting you with an Empire versus Jedi.
I'm not my master's keeper. I'm not my brother's keeper, should I say, not my master's keeper. I'm not anybody's keeper. I can only take care of what I can take care of in my small sphere.
True.
So, do I afford those in my small sphere of influence as much freedom as I can? Sure I do.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I get it. I can't argue with that without...
It's a bunch of Gen Xers just bitching and moaning. Sorry, kids.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's basically, for us, freedom, I think, is different.
Yeah, it is.
From a subjective point of view, obviously, than younger generations.
Yeah.
Because we had freedom.
Oh, it was free range, baby.
Yeah. Gen X has been referred to as the feral generation, and we really kind of were. I mean, we were brought up well, but also a day during the summer was like, I'm going to the woods with my friends. I'll be back around dusk for dinner.
Yeah.
And that was it. And you spent the day in the woods building a camp.
Well, you didn't know where I was. I might be in the woods. I might be
I
might be downtown Cincinnati running around. You don't know.
I might have caught a bus somewhere. I might have ridden my bike to my friend's house. That's any number of different things could happen. And that was freedom. And even as we grew up and got jobs and got into high school, once you got a car, that's when you really knew what freedom was. Like, okay, I've got my license. I've got $20 in my wallet. I'm going to find something to do. And you go out and you find something to do.
Sure.
And that's freedom. And I don't know that younger generations have felt that, because it feels like, and I know this from reading and seeing people post about it and stuff like that, much more scheduled, much more stratified lives, doing things all the time.
I think interests are different too. I mean,
yeah. So
you do you, boo, as they say.
So I think the biggest key there is freedom is different depending on your perspective.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, different people have different freedoms, as it were. So we will give Mega Wheel of Magnificent another spin and see what kind of wonderment she comes up with. I don't typically give a gender to inanimate objects. For some reason, Mega Wheel seems like a lady.
She started as a corpulent lady. So.
Yeah. Luck be a lady tonight. It's a long question. Would you rather have the power to gently nudge anyone's decisions, or have complete puppet master control of 5 people?
I think anybody that has any sort of charisma already has the ability to nudge people's decisions in certain directions, so that's kind of a pointless skill to have. I think most of us already have that. If we have a compelling enough argument, you can nudge people in the right direction. I don't know if I want puppet master abilities over people, because
5 people.
5 people.
Like you get to pick 5 people.
I mean, I'd rather Death Note you than puppet master you. I mean, if you get the reference, I don't know. It's too much. I got enough stuff to manage with my own life and my own family. I don't want to have to be in charge of managing 5 other people and doing what I want them to do. So no.
Yeah, I can think of nothing more abhorrent or boring than to be a puppet master for anyone. I don't want to tell anyone what to do. I want to give you information and trust that you will do the right thing. And that kind of goes back to gently nudging people's decisions. Like, I hate to keep using my job and stuff, but as a safety professional, lots of times that's what it is gently nudging people like, hey, these are our legal requirements. This is why we have to do this. This is why it's in our best interest to do this. You present information.
Sure.
You answer questions. You kind of show people the right way to go, and hopefully they will do it.
I mean, that's the modern world. That's advertising. That's politics. That's law. That's everything is gently nudging you in a direction that an entity or a group wants you to do.
Yeah. So I think for me, this is a little bit, to reframe the question the way I heard it, it's more of a macro management versus micromanagement thing.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than micromanagement. Nothing worse than having somebody over your shoulder for everything, or to try and be that. I never understood how people that micromanage, I never understood how they didn't drive themselves nuts. That some people can live in that kind of mindset that it's the right way to approach things.
I think some of those people are nuts. So
yeah, I think it would almost have to be.
Going back to something you mentioned earlier about your job and safety stuff, did you guys know that Scot has a safety podcast? If any of you out there are into occupational safety, or you're working at factories, or you're into this kind of, I don't know, stuff, go check it out. It's the Scot's Safety Scouting Report. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the Safety Scouting Report. Just started it a few weeks ago. And what it's designed as, because there are a lot of occupational safety and health podcasts out there, and they're run by like big organizations. Like the ASSP has one, NASP, I believe, sponsors one, BCSP sponsors one. And of course, those acronyms mean nothing to anybody but me. But there are a lot of safety podcasts out there.
A lot of boring crap. Go listen to his. He's got a personality and he keeps it short.
Yeah, done by a lot of good people with great information. But what I designed mine as is, if you are a safety professional, lots of times you're putting together what we call toolbox talks for people at your site to remind them about stuff. Hey, don't forget lockout, tagout. Don't forget your respirators, things like that. Mine is more designed for safety professionals as a toolbox talk, going back to the foundational stuff. Like the first series I'm really doing is called Hazard Identification 101, talking about basic hazard identification, what to look at, things like that. I just got done doing 2 yesterday. One on occupational noise exposure, one on temperature extremes.
So if you're into that kind of stuff, go check it out.
Yeah, if I'm not boring enough on this podcast, then come be really bored listening to my safety podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
But
free ad time, free real estate.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing, too, for anybody listening to this, go seek out the safety scouting report, because we've all got jobs. And I do try to keep them short and entertaining, just basic information, get in, get out. And I think the more people understand about safety at their job, the more safe they will be. If I can teach you something about a certain hazard and you walk into your job on Monday morning and you see a problem and you can point it out and get it fixed, you might have just saved a life.
Or you could be the office place Karen. Don't do that.
You could do that too. It's not a fun part of the job, but sometimes you kind of have to be. So we will spin Mega Wheel the Magnificent again and try and come up with another topic. You know, I'm going to do the PR thing in like the next 4 or 5 episodes and start talking it up. This is so bizarre. Would you, Bunny, rather take cold showers every day or eat cold meals every day?
I am a fan of cold meals, and I don't mind cold showers. So catch as catch can. I'll do either one. I mean, I disgust most people I know by just, I love cold meals in the morning. Cold macaroni.
Where do you think
pizza.
Morning Pizza Radio
Yeah,
came
that's
from?
where that all came from. It's not some weird Illuminati thing. It's about eating pizza in the morning. But yeah, I mean, if I had to pick one or the other, I guess I'd rather do cold showers, because a hot meal is kind of nice every once in a while. It's not bad. I think I'd miss that. I don't know if I'd miss hot showers.
I usually don't take hot showers, and it's weird. Like, I take temperate showers. I don't like hot things. I hate wintertime mainly because I hate like hot air blowing on me in a car or in a house. It just sets my teeth on edge. So my showers are temperate. They're cool by comparison with my wife's showers, who like literally it's scaldingly hot. I don't understand.
That's my wife too.
I literally don't get it, how anybody can stand water that hot. But cold meals, I don't know. Like, I like cold cereal.
You'd never be able to have soup again unless you have gazpacho, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's the weird thing. Like, cold Italian food is really good. Mm-hmm. Pizza, spaghetti, lasagna, fantastic. Cold Cincinnati-style chili. Like, if you've got leftovers from a 3-way, don't heat it up, just eat it. Trust me, you'll love it.
Yeah, it's really good.
Cold sandwiches, good. But if I had to choose, I would probably go with I'll eat the cold meals every day, because I don't want to take a cold shower.
Okay.
That would just be too much for me.
All right.
Yeah, just oddly enough. That was really a weird question.
That was a strange question. Somebody's fetish out there.
Yeah. So we will give Mega Wheel of Magnificent another spin and see what we can come up with. Solving the world's problems, one existential question at a time, here on the Gen X-istentialists. Jesus Christ, it's another long one. Holy crap.
All right. Somebody's getting their
getting
themselves out there.
Would you rather have a boomerang that would find and kill any one person of your choosing anywhere in the world, but can only be used once, or a boomerang that always returns to you with $1?
That's obvious, the dollar. If I throw that boomerang enough, I can hire an assassin to go kill the person I want, and still be able to invest my money in a high yield market fund afterwards. It
kind of answers itself, but it also feels like one of those weird, like Genie or Twilight Zone questions where, you're throwing the boomerang, it's coming back with $1, but
$1 isn't much anymore.
It's not much, but it's also stealing it from somewhere, and eventually the cops are going to come back.
Stealing it from what, the money printer that goes brrr all day long?
I don't know.
Money's an illusion.
It's just one of those weird trade-offs. Now, if the boomerang came back to me with like an ounce of gold every time.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You're not going to track that.
That's a no-brainer.
I'll take that every time. And the other thing is, like,
I bet if it came back with a coney every time. Like Cincinnati style chili every time. I'd still take that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't throw it very often, but it'd be nice to have it.
I'd throw it every day at lunch. Scott, what'd you bring for lunch today? My boomerang. It's all good. It's all good in the hood.
Jeez. All right.
The problem with the one that would kill somebody is obviously you've killed somebody. And you could drop it off and say, well, no, I didn't. It was the boomerang. It was the magic boomerang.
That's the way it works with guns and cars and stuff, right?
Yeah. But
it wasn't me. It was the gun that killed somebody. It was the boomerang.
It would have been my intent, and I'm the one that threw it.
Sure.
Although there are some people that I wouldn't mind seeing get hit by that boomerang. I'm not going to be the one to throw it. So, on that note, we will spin Mega Wheel the Magnificent one time.
That was a long question for a short, dumb answer.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you remember, is that one somebody sent in?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think
All right.
Yeah.
If you had a whole day where you could do anything you wanted, what would you do?
I fill my life with as many of those whole days.
Yeah.
And we just discussed freedom.
Yeah.
And that was, that's what freedom is filling your day with what you want to do. Now, if it's stupid stuff like, I want to ride elephants on the moon or whatever, then you can't really do that. But a simple answer to if I could fill a whole day with what I wanted to do, I would love to just spend it with friends and family, hanging out, playing some games, watching some bad movies, and going to bed when I felt like it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I can't disagree with that. And it does follow very closely on that whole freedom thing. What would I do? You already took one of the answers. I'll give another one. I would spend the day in my studio.
Yeah.
And just play.
And you do that. That's the thing. We do that.
Yeah. So it's not an if. It's kind of one of those things when you get to be an adult. Yeah, you have more responsibilities. There are more things that you have to do, and that's pretty obvious. But you've also got the ability to do things for yourself.
And lower your expectations.
Well, yeah, you got to lower your expectations. But I think it's also like we both decided, along with our partners, not to have children.
Yeah.
And so that affords another level of freedom.
Sure.
It brings other things with it. From a life perspective, but it also brings a lot of freedom. Would I have this studio if we had kids? Probably not.
You probably would.
I don't know.
It wouldn't be you wouldn't have as many guitars as you have now, but you would have a space that you could play and hang out in.
Probably.
I guarantee it. This place is big. You have plenty of room for kids somewhere.
Yeah, but
I mean, Did my parents stop doing what they loved doing, when I was around? I don't know if they loved doing something bizarre that I never knew about. Maybe. But I mean, your dad still had his hobbies and stuff. I mean, my dad still sang bluegrass in the basement every, Sunday because he felt like it. Nobody stopped him from having fun. So, hey, and sometimes kids are fun, it's all good.
I've just never, even when I was a kid, I didn't want to be a kid. I didn't want to be around kids.
That's an only child thing, too.
Yeah, it is. And that gets into a whole other existential question about things. And so that'll wrap us up on this edition of the Gen X-istentialists. We appreciate you taking time with us. My name is Scott.
And I'm Bunny.
And we will catch you next time. Have a good one.
See you.